when I go back to Iowa, it will not be as a presidential candidate. I am suspending my campaign. I think the voters who are the most remarkable people on the planet have been really clear that they're telling me not now, Tim. I don't think they're saying, Trey, no, but I do think they're saying not now. And so I'm going to respect the voters, and I'm going to hold on and keep working really hard and look forward to another opportunity.
So with that, another one bites the dust. We'd been wondering, coming out of the GOP debate, who is going to drop out? And it seemed like Tim Scott, who failed to break through and is still polling at 2 or 3%, is probably the most likely to drop out. And he did. It was a surprise nationally. It was a surprise even to Trey Gowdy, who seemed to have no idea that this guy was going to spontaneously announce that he was ending his campaign. Don't you normally do that with like a big event surrounded by your supporters?
And they all go,
weird.
No.
Yeah. Look. It makes sense for him to drop out. He is burning millions of dollars on a pipe dream. He, I think, showed a little bit of ability to self-reflect. He stopped before going where he should have gone when he said, they're saying not now, not no. No, they're saying no. Like, they're saying no. I mean, maybe if you were the only person, I'm sure they like stuff about you. You're super religious, and there's all sorts of groups that you want to demonize and all that. But no, they're not particularly interested. So probably not a bad choice. Francesca, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Tim Scott really wasn't offering anything, right? Like he was. Again, all of this is like, if you're not really, there's no real lane that he's operating in. It's just, he's not really gonna criticize Trump. He wants the MAGA support, I guess, but he also kind of wants to be taken more like a, normal Republican. I don't know. And like, so I mean, I feel like Nikki Haley, if anyone, has like really the lane on, let's get back to like, let's get back to sort of like, centrist Republicanism. Yeah. I think she's got that on lock, and she's doing a good job like not burning through her money.
But you just like, I think you're totally right. I think Nikki Haley wants to be running for president in 2004, absent George W. Bush or something. But it reminds, I wish I could give credit to the woman who posted it. I don't remember. But she said Nikki Haley was called Dick Cheney in heels, and the part she took issue with was the heels. That's a good point. Dick Cheney was really bad, and she seems kind of in that, at least in terms of foreign policy, in that ideological tradition. But Tim Scott, I don't know what the specific appeal was supposed to be. He almost more than, I guess, anyone else, even Mike Pence, maybe centered like conservative Christianity. Like not in the way that Trump pretends to care about any of this or believe in God or whatever. No, Tim Scott clearly does believe a lot of this stuff, and he talked about it nonstop. I guess that was supposed to be his appeal, but it didn't break through. If you look at this poll, I mean, there he's at, I believe that's 2%. Like you're behind Chris Christie. Like that's going to be tough. And he began his campaign with $22 million.
Jesus.
And we're often told by the right that they're anti-elitist and everything, but like, burning millions of dollars on a presidential campaign that could never work seems like the most elitist thing in the universe, but they're not gonna think about that. I'll also just throw out there, like, it seems interesting that he finally had, I believe at the debate, his girlfriend, who had been the center of, apparently while I was gone, a lot of debate and speculation, everything. She finally came to an event which ended that mystery. And then almost immediately after that, he drops out. It could just be that he thought maybe he'd break through at the debate and it didn't go that way. So it doesn't have to be anything conspiratorial, but it was a weird candidacy. I don't know that we'll remember it a year from now. Any other thoughts?
I mean, I guess my thoughts are more broadly about, Tim Scott being a Black Republican senator, right? And like what, how far can a Black man, even a conservative Black man, really advance in a Republican Party that is truly loves demonizing African Americans and the community writ large? And so I think, Tim Scott's kind of plays a role, right? He signs off on when they want to, bash the BLM movement or talk about the defund the police movement. Not that the Democrats don't also do that. But he also, I think, offered a little bit of like, maybe potential hope to like work with the other side, being a black man in the United States. So I think there's more to be said. And also with Nikki Haley, when it comes to, race and gender, it seems like Nikki Haley has found her ability to talk about her gender. Like, I have 5-inch heels and I don't wear my, I run in them, blah, blah. But like Tim Scott maybe wasn't able to talk about him being black in America in a way that like, took into consideration conservatives, fifis, which are mostly racist, not all, but you know what I'm saying? Like the MAGA base.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically something for him to consider over the next 4 years because he's still on the younger side. He says not now, but maybe. And who knows, maybe that very necessary but hard to imagine, rebirth of the Republican Party where common sense or sanity or centered once again could come, but I don't see it coming. And even if that happened, I'm not sure that Tim Scott would be the guy at that point. It'd probably be someone like Chris Christie, honestly.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.